Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the August 12th City Council work session meeting. We're so excited that you were able to join us here at CNU, the Freeman Center, and the Gaines Theater. We are excited that we get to always rotate these council meetings, and we look forward to more and more of the public engagement. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to the city manager to discuss the downtown Newport News Navy investment, and then after that, I have a few comments. Alan, over to you.
Thank you, and good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of City Council. Tonight's work session includes one item focused on a Navy investment opportunity in downtown Newport News. The Navy has been advancing efforts nationwide to enhance sailor quality of service and warfighting readiness, with special attention to Hampton Roads and Newport News. The city has worked closely with the Navy, Newport News Shipbuilding, the Commonwealth of Virginia, and the Economic Development Authority to align this initiative with our broader downtown revitalization goals. This project represents a public-private partnership valued between $350 and $400 million, led by the Navy and Hunt military communities. It will bring new housing, amenities, and renewed energy to downtown. At this time, I will turn the presentation over to Florence Kingston, who will share further details on the project's scale and scope, as well as immediate next steps, including actions before you this evening. Thank you, Florence, and welcome.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, as you know, in May 2023, the Department of the Navy launched a nationwide quality of service initiative to improve sailor well-being and support warfighting readiness. This followed issuance of a memorandum connected with setting a new course for Navy quality of service. One of the immediate action items was to address parking challenges, and the first parking garage is underway between 37th and 39th Street, Warwick Boulevard and Huntington Avenue, which is expected to be complete in summer of next year. In parallel, the Navy has been continuing to evaluate investment opportunities nationwide, including Hampton Roads. As staff has coordinated with the Navy, downtown Newport News has continued to be a priority site for investment. Despite not being a naval base, downtown is essential to Navy operations given the importance of Newport News shipbuilding and the high concentration of sailors living and working in the area. Over the past several months, the Navy and Naval Facilities Engineering Systems Command, or NAVAC, have been coordinating the selection of the development partner that will implement major investments in sailor quality of service, specifically unaccompanied housing. That process has been completed and Hunt Military Communities has been selected. This is the same group that manages the existing Homeport Hampton Roads project downtown. This specific course of action contemplates a major investment and project at the Huntington Hall site and Julius Kahn Gym block in partnership with the city, EDA, Newport News Shipbuilding, and the Commonwealth of Virginia. I will add that Mayor Jones has been a strong advocate for this project, working closely with Navy leadership to secure the project element in Newport News. The highlighted properties show the parcels affected by this project announcement. The Huntington Hall site, which is owned by Newport News Shipbuilding, the Julie Kahn Gym site, owned by the City of Newport News, 2900 Huntington Avenue, and 2901 Warwick Boulevard, owned by the Economic Development Authority, in yellow. This is just another image of the project site. Note that Homeport Hampton Roads is directly across the street from Huntington Hall on Huntington Avenue. The Navy's investment in downtown Newport News, as the manager said, just for the unaccompanied housing project is expected to be between $350 and $400 million. The investment contemplates the creation of 750 two-bedroom apartment units or 1,500 beds, a 1,050-space parking garage, 30,000 square feet of space for Navy services, and 10,000 square feet of retail space that would provide services for both the Navy and the general public. This slide shows the new residential on the Huntington Hall site, with the parking garage on the Julie Kahn Gyms block. Note that Huntington Hall block will be developed in phases. Sailors will remain in Huntington Hall while the first phase is completed, move into the new residences, and then the rest of the site will be developed. This project will be a new addition to Newport News' skyline. The two larger towers will be 17 stories tall. The existing Huntington Hall will be demolished. However, the architects for the project have used the building as inspiration for the new facade and face on Warwick Boulevard. This project does straddle 30th Street, which will remain open following construction completion. This is another image of the project showing perspective within the context of downtown and the surrounding buildings. Development, engineering, codes, and planning have been actively in coordination with the Hunt Navy team to begin pre-design review and provide early comments ahead of plan submission to make the process as smooth as possible. Closing and construction commencement for the project is expected to occur in spring or summer of 2026. The Navy will be working with Hunt Military Communities, which will be the implementation entity for the project. Staff is working closely with the Hunt team to streamline processes and queue up as many project elements as possible. Among those is the conveyance of the Julius Kahn Gym property to the EDA, the action for which is scheduled for your main session this evening. The EDA will assemble the public property being leveraged to support this project and ultimately enter into a development agreement with Hunt for the project. Additionally, on your agenda tonight is an appropriation of $5.5 million to support downtown initiatives. That includes the renovation of 2295 Harbor Road, support for redevelopment of the Greek Church, and complementary investments supporting this Navy project. This funding will also serve as local match for the $40 million Treasury loan committed to the project by the Commonwealth of Virginia. Staff is working closely with the Commonwealth on the development of an MOU connected with that funding. This is a major milestone for the ongoing partnership and collaboration with the Navy on sailor quality of service, and will be a boon for our existing revitalization work downtown that continues to gain momentum. The city organization is prepped to move this project quickly in close partnership and coordination with the Navy and Hunt team. I'll be happy to answer any questions and would defer to the mayor and city manager for any additional comments they would like to make.
Thank you, Florence. If we could go back to the last slide that was up there. If it's able to be put back up. Perfect. So first of all, I just want to say a round of thank yous. So to Alan and to Bo and to Jerry and to Florence, this has been, I think, perhaps the best thing that we've done in a long time. This is going to completely change the skyline of downtown Newport News. To use an economic development term, this is going to be an anchor that draws and pulls everyone into downtown. So there's that, but then also ultimately the goal is to always increase the quality of life for all of our sailors and those who wear our country's flag. And so to those parties, thank you. Additionally, I talked to our state representatives this afternoon, to State Senator Locke and to State Rep Sia Price. They carried this in the House and the Senate, so just thank you to them. I do want to flag for City Council that the goal, and I think Jerry's over there, I see Jerry, the goal as we talk about what we want to ask the General Assembly for in October, I would love for that $40 million Treasury loan to be a forgiven loan and or capital expenditure. The loan is always great, but we can do some things. So that's going to be sort of the goal coming into October. And that's all I have, but I'll turn it over to Alan to make any comments, and then we'll take any City Council questions, comments.
No, the only thing I really have to add, Mr. Mayor, is just my genuine excitement for downtown and what this project means, not only for the Navy, but for the future of downtown investment. In the course of my employment with the city, I've seen, certainly a number of shifts as it relates to downtown development initiatives. We've kind of gone full circle from a full court press to city center, and the importance of a city center facility to the entire community, now back to our roots, which is the old traditional anchor of this community, which is original downtown. I think downtown, the original downtown, holds great promise, and I think this is just the first of many steps for a very bright economic opportunity for our traditional downtown. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Is there any questions or comments from City Council at this time?
I do have a question, Mr.
Vice Mayor.
Over the last, let's say 25 years, is it safe to say that this is the largest investment that we've seen downtown?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And the total amount, I believe, Florence, is just under $400 million. Is that correct?
For just the unaccompanied housing piece. And so there will be supplemental investment in parking improvements and other community space that will be forthcoming.
Phenomenal. Thank you.
And I think as well, thank you, Florence. I think as well as this is just step one, and I think our amazing comms team is in the back there, and I know it's about telling the story correctly, and so ensuring that we partner not only with the state, but also with Huntington Ingalls. So just thank you, comms, as well, for pushing out that positive narrative. With that, we're going to go straight. I know the bulk of our time tonight is in closed session. Let's kick it over to comments, ideas, suggestions before council starts. I know there's been some action, Alan, that you want Owen Miller to talk about, and that's going to be the inspections that we had at the Liberty Live apartments this morning, or Lift and Rise, I'm sorry.
Yes, and so thank you for that introduction. You all have certainly heard and received a number of photographs and emails from individuals who've been concerned about the new construction and other code issues at Lift and Rise. And so we had a coordinated on-site inspection early this morning, just prior to the ground breaking activity for the Workforce Development Center. And Owen and a number of other individuals from the Redevelopment Housing Authority to Codes Compliance to other city agencies were present for a walkthrough, and so Owen is prepared just to provide council with a brief update on this morning's activity.
Yeah, thank you, Alan. So just quickly, knowing the importance of our C&I efforts, the two properties in question, so Legacy Landing and Lift and Rise, and then speaking of downtown, the final phase, which will occur in our downtown. We had a number of resident concerns about both the two existing properties, and I know council received some as well, both our South District representatives and the mayor's office. So knowing those concerns and the sensitivity to this topic, we wanted to make sure that we got on it as soon as we could. So our codes compliance officials have been to both the properties in recent weeks, have issued a number of citations, things that needed to be improved. Hearing some of the latest concerns, we wanted to do a full building inspection for the Lift and Rise. And so this morning, we had most of our codes compliance officials come on out and actually access all 70-plus units in Lift and Rise, making sure that they were in the quality and the state and the condition that we want to ensure our residents receive. And so having done that today, we also had the opportunity to sit down with representatives from Redevelopment Housing Authority as well as Penrose Management, the firm that is managing both our current properties and eventually the downtown, and partner with our C&I efforts. Once again, we impressed upon them, and I think our partners fully understand, and they're here tonight, the importance of this housing in the city and our C&I investment. And so there's a real commitment to ensuring within the next 2 weeks that the codes compliance issues or citations are addressed, and that we have a plan in place through the property management company that we ensure that these type of issues do not continue to arise. And primarily, our primary importance is ensuring that our residents are receiving the customer service and the housing conditions that we had always committed to as part of this C&I effort. So going forward, I'm confident we have addressed some of these concerns, and that I hope we will not be hearing back from some of our residents, whether it's at a council meeting or offline in the near future. So within the next 2 weeks, I'm expecting a significant change in the appearance and some of the performance that we'll see going forward.
Thank you, sir. I'll defer to the South council members first, if there's any questions.
I just want to thank you for that. I know both me and Ms. Vick have had numerous phone calls from residents concerning both Legacy Landing and Lift and Rise. And with talking with staff, y'all have been very proactive of making sure our needs have been met. So thank you for that effort, and even reached out to Harold Roach a couple of times, and he got back with me and rectified the situations. So I think by us putting pressure on the managing company, they would know that we're not going to tolerate this anything in our community, and it kind of would set the tone for other developers who want to do work in here, that our citizens deserve the best quality of work. So thank you so much for you and your team for going out today to make that possible.
Absolutely, and I guess I'll just quickly say, Councilman Ely, so the Penrose management appears to understand our concerns. They've committed a new team, a new regional team to be working with us. They outlined a plan in place this morning to address some of these concerns. So while certainly the proof will be in the pudding, I was excited to hear what I heard from them. They seem to understand the sensitivity to this issue.
And we've talked with a lot of the citizens. I don't think the issue was so much of them having an issue. It was once they report the issue, the treatment they get because they are reporting the issue. So I want you to make sure you're clear with that. Treat the residents with respect, and it's a clear pathway for them to report their issues just because they didn't build these apartments. So if they have a leak in ceilings or something's not working, they shouldn't be held accountable or treated one way because they're making a complaint. So just kind of enforce that there's a clear pathway for them to make their complaints if they have one at their apartment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as always with anything, you'd expect a certain level of customer service and communication, and we need to make sure we're delivering that.
Thank you so much, sir.
Absolutely.
Councilman Long.
My question is really for the continuation a year from now, 2 years from now. If the management company, Councilman Ely was saying, was not on top of it, the rental inspection program, I understand, it's not for HUD-related properties. So is there a way we can bring some of these properties into rental inspection program so that way we can protect our citizens?
I don't know. So certainly we'll research that, Councilman Long. What I will say is I would certainly hope through our redevelopment housing authority, and as I said, I do know that the executive director understands the sensitivity to these concerns, that we have the existing tools in place to address them and ensure that these type of problems are addressed much sooner than we've seen it so far, and that we will not have these problems in a year's time.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Is there any other comments from City Council at this time? Okay, I think we're good, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Alan, anything left? I'm just going to come straight down.
Yeah, nothing further, sir.
Okay. Councilman Ely.
Nothing, sir.
Councilman Long.
No comments.
I just have one. At this time, I have 2 fiscal year 2026 council contingency requests. Actually, I'm sorry. They're still waiting signature. So we'll do this next time. But next time, we're actually going to vote on Eggleston, which is $1,000, as well as Gifted Minds Academy, First Baptist Church Morrison, which is $2,500. So we're still waiting signatures. We'll get those today, and then in 2 weeks, we'll vote on those. All the rest of my comments, I'll wait for a closed session. Vice Mayor.
Yes, real quick, I just want to thank Bo, Flora, and the rest of staff who was able to attend the community information session regarding the potential development uptown. What I want to ask is, I think it's extremely important that on the front end, we're doing everything possible to get as much community feedback before it goes through the process. So I think it's so important that we do that on the front end because we want to try and prevent a council meeting filled and packed with folks who feel like their voices weren't heard. So I think that was a great first step. I'm looking forward to more community dialogue, but again, on the front end, it is extremely important to ensure that the residents feel like they are heard. So if we could just build that into practice, I think that would be extremely helpful. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, sir. Councilman Coleman.
I don't have anything, sir.
Yeah. Councilman Harris.
Nothing.
Bob, you good?
Good, sir.
Okay. With that, it's a lot, Cleon. You want to read it for closed session?
Oh, where is it at? I didn't practice it. All right. Let's see. It's been a while.
I think at this time, Councilman Long will take us into closed session.
I move that pursuant to Section 2.2, Tag 3711A of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended, subsection 1, 8, and 19, that council hold a closed meeting for the purpose of discussion, consideration, or interview of prospective candidates for employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, disciplining, or resignation of specific public officers, appointees, or employees of any public body, the subject of which is discussion or consideration of prospective candidates for removal from or appointment to boards and commission, and the discussion or consideration of prospective candidates to serve as acting city clerk. 8, consultation with legal counsel employed or retained by a public body regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice by such counsel, the subject of which is legal advice concerning collective bargaining. And 19, a discussion of information subject to the exclusion in subdivision 14 of section 2.2 TAC 3705.2, where discussion in open meeting would jeopardize the safety of any person or the security of any facility, building, structure, information system, or software program, the subject of which is a discussion of security plans and protocols and personnel deployments.
Thank you. There's a motion on the table.
Second.
At the time, call the roll.
Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Coleman,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris,
4.
Mayor Jones,
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Motion carried 6-0.
Thank you all. Okay, Councilman Long.
I move that members of the council certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, one, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion for which a closed meeting was convened or heard, discussed, or considered in the closed meeting by the council.
Second.
Moved in second. At the time, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Coleman,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris,
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Motion carried 7-0.
Thank you. We stand adjourned. We'll see everyone back here in about 20 minutes.